Moshi moshi!
Yes, hello everyone, and welcome aboard the Shield Helicarrier, which is, it looks like it's seen better days. So right off the bat, we have to wonder, how did the symbiotes get in here? This is a Helicarrier, it is in the air, and we haven't seen any flying symbiotes yet. It also looks like the concentration in this Helicarrier is much greater than anywhere else we've seen so far. They even have these weird little structures which are telepathically connected to them, so that's handy. Basically just beat up all the symbiotes in an area and those weird egg sac looking things will break. It is my duty to inform you that the scenic route does indeed take longer, so we are far better off going this way. There is a problem I have with disabling the turrets though, and it's that the only way to disable them is also how we zip from place to place. So Spidey often yanks himself around the room when all you want to do is turn the turret off. So it's a little bit inconvenient, but the turrets don't deal that much damage, and they die pretty quickly, so it's not that devastating. I also like the way the parts just go absolutely flying. Okay, Spidey, now I don't mean to be judgmental, but have you considered maybe telling him that fire and sound would have worked instead of freezing cold? These steam vents knock us out of the air much like the symbiotes or those electric wires, or look, they just knock us out of the air. They also have a much longer range than they appear to, so don't get cocky with it. They're much harder to dodge in the PSP version, though.
Over here, Spider-Man!
Well, well, if it isn't Jessica Drew, the big shot SHIELD agent. I gotta say, I liked your other outfit way better.
Actually, the outfit Jessica Drew is wearing right now, I don't believe she has ever worn. It's more of a standard SHIELD agent outfit, but even when she did work for SHIELD in the comics, that's not what she wore at all. Jessica Drew was Spider-Woman at one point, and they never directly mentioned this in the game, but there are references to her past with Peter.
Welcome to the SHIELD Helicarrier.
You look different. Did you get a haircut?
So this stronger looking symbiote is, it's a stronger symbiote. It just takes more hits. There's nothing else remarkable about it, except for its new attack that allows it to slam us into the ground. But that doesn't deal very much damage. Just causes some knockback. So SHIELD has apparently been experimenting on the alien symbiote Venom, which is a terrible idea. That's a terrible idea. Why would you do that? But, I mean, Nick Fury doesn't exactly have the best moral compass, and he's an ends justify the means kind of guy. If he thinks using the symbiote would help save people's lives somehow, or prevent the world from falling into chaos, he's all for that. As much as Nick Fury and SHIELD run into Spidey, you gotta remember, they're trying to protect the whole world here, not just Manhattan. I'm not sure Jessica should be standing in that symbiote goop, though. She should probably stand somewhere less likely to get her infected. Hey, Mysterio, I don't know what that was about. I mean, thanks for helping, but I'm not sure what you did, really. Throw a Deku nut? The majority of the enemy type we're going to be seeing from this point onward is symbiotes. Just variations of symbiotes. We will get to see some more human enemies toward the very end, but this is what we're going to be looking at mostly for the rest of the game. But, you know, they do establish that these guys we're fighting right now are infected people and not just symbiote creatures that sort of spawned on their own or anything. So was that thing we incinerated back in the AIM Labs formerly a person? That's kind of dark. It may seem weird that we're punching symbiotes, but the actual Web of Shadows game features a similar approach to taking care of the invasion, so... I mean, this kind of full-scale symbiote invasion thing hasn't happened before, so who knows, maybe when the symbiote is spread this far apart, you totally can punch it to death. So the universe this game takes place in is consistent with the comics, like the canon comics, not any of the offshoots or anything like that. Though obviously the events that take place in the games create an alternate reality, the history is definitely shared. That didn't happen. The safest way to deal with these lasers, simply wait till they disappear and then zip. I think the game expected you to crawl through instead of zip, which is why there's so many health pickups. Crawling through is definitely not advised, I can tell you that from experience. If you're wondering why the lasers flicker on and off like this, there's actually an in-universe explanation for that, which I think is kinda cool. Because usually games don't bother explaining things like that. You'll get to see the in-universe explanation in a bit. In case you're wondering how the symbiote invasion started, they're not really clear on that in this version of Web of Shadows, which is unfortunate, because it really should be taken as its own game. But Venom accidentally discovered the ability to replicate itself while it was fighting Spidey. Also, I forgot there was a hole in the floor here, that's why I was wandering around like a doofus. But yeah, it accidentally discovered the ability to replicate, and it kinda just went from there, really. The easiest way to deal with these egg-like structures that spawn symbiotes is to spam Black Spidey's charge at them, because you're invincible while you use Black Spidey's charge. It's kinda cheap, I suppose, but taking out those eggs normally is rather time-consuming, so I don't feel guilty about it. Like the man said, leaving the lasers off would also create more symbiotes for us to fight, but presumably it would cause a lot of trouble for the SHIELD agents too. You know, I'm not an expert, but I feel like there should probably be doors that Spidey could use instead of the vents. Are the doors blocked by symbiote goop? I guess that would make sense. This seems like a rather roundabout way to get from place to place. Maybe it's just faster. Maybe it's just faster. Zipping is no longer the most convenient way to get through the lasers. That doesn't stop me from still trying, though, repeatedly. We get a lot of experience for surviving it, which is weird, because there were so many health pickups along the way. So does no one in this universe know that sound can control the symbiotes, or at least push them back, as can fire? Maybe that just never came up somehow? I mean, Spidey should know that at least. Because we can assume that all of these symbiote enemies we're seeing in here are former SHIELD agents. Just equipping a couple of them with sonic guns probably could have prevented all of this, I think. But no, Fury has to know because he's making us create a sonic generator to take care of the symbiotes. What is... we're gonna stop thinking about it. Let's just assume that they did all try their best and for some reason it's not working. Or that Fury kept the secret to himself because he's like that. Or maybe the ineffective methods of keeping the symbiotes back is just being played for humorous purposes. I don't know. It's just strange.
Spider-Man! Get up to the control room, fast!
Unlike everything else in this level so far, we can just dash straight to the objective from here without anything getting in our way. We don't even have to fight the symbiotes we see.
Oh no! It's my arch enemy, the Green Goblin! Sorry, it's just that all you big green scary guys look alike after a while.
Oh, yes. Please entertain us with some of your legendarily witty banter, Spider.
So there you go, everything we've encountered up until this point is finally explained. Unfortunately for Jackal, he is probably the easiest boss in the game. His pattern is non-existent, and he's very easy to juggle. Fury has a lot to answer for right now, though, and I mean a lot to answer for. As soon as we get done kicking this guy's ass.
Handle the witty repartee if you don't mind.
Spider-Man, Spider-Man, go squish like a spider can.
Are you making fun of me?